This is me that I get to talk super quick and be more blunt because this is not ARIA, this is my own thing. Everyone write down 3 challenges they have right now that are helping them, preventing them from moving forward. The reason why I write this down is everyone's got different challenges every single day that consumes what their work is. Does that make sense? It's amazing what people get so distracted about. Someone could say, what was a challenge today?
Your phone.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
I didn't prospect enough today. There we go. What's my challenge with it? I've written down that I need to have 6 appointments with new clients every day. I'm going to be honest. My mortgage team can't handle more loans. No, I'm being serious. So I don't call people to follow up with them on 6 months ago because we can't fulfill the loans we have now. Is that a good problem? Absolutely. That means I need to hire a different person to help out, or I train the people that I have. Does that make sense? Now other people could be, here's a different example. He emailed over the weekend that I'm starting a flip today for a duplex. I've never even been to the house yet, okay? I do not want to go to this house on purpose just to show I can remodel it, which I've done before. Why I'm bringing this up, the challenge was what? Post Street. Lockbox was gone. So Derek goes to the house, the lockbox is gone. Did you go inside the house?
I couldn't find an open
Hold on,
window.
did you go inside the house?
No.
No. Did my maintenance guy go inside the house? Yep. Makes sense. He's resourceful. Different. Not to say you didn't do anything, but he got in. So was that a challenge? No, I talked to him for like 7 minutes today. We confirmed what we're doing. You guys were on the phone call, right, Derek and Dominic?
Yep.
Okay, confirmed. He asked some questions. I asked him what he thought. Asked him how long it'll take him. It'll take me 5 days. Okay, are you sure? I'm sure. I'll give you $150 if you're done on time. He's like, awesome. So is that a challenge? No, because I don't want to talk about it with him again. Makes sense? So why I'm bringing this up, investing. I cannot believe this guy's not here today. I talked to someone on Friday. He's come to these classes. I helped him with a hard money loan in March. Okay? He bought a property in Ogden. He lives in Orem. I told him not to buy the property in Ogden. Not that Ogden's not a good area, but him living in Orem and him being in construction, he's going to travel. What did he do? He bought the property. So I was happy to give him a hard money loan because it was a good opportunity. I talked to him on Friday. I said, how's the house coming? He's like, oh my gosh, it's so hard work. I freaking started laughing. You know why? Because I had told him. So he's going on his 6th month in hard money. What's his pain? Hard money, the commute, he's way over budget. He wouldn't invest $1,500 for him to learn how to do this 6 months ago. He's like, I can't believe I didn't do it. What else is he doing? He's buying a property in Memphis. Why are you buying a property in Memphis? It sounded good. Dude, a lot of things sound good, but why are you buying in Memphis? I understand I need to come back and work with you. Now, I'm not going to hold his hand, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is there's lots of people that come all the time. They come once or twice. There's way more data. You guys are going to make your brains think. But he said it's hard. Does that make sense? So I'm going to show you guys some tips on how to make this easier. Is that okay? What's cool with this is I have different skills. We all have different skills, core competencies. But the reason why I like this house first, this house took me 12 months to do. That's a long time. It's downtown Salt Lake. It's not out of state. I got it for like 90 grand, and we sold it for 250 grand. Not normal, but I put 90 grand into it. Had a lot of problems. Okay? If I didn't have a good relationship with my hard money lender, what would they have done? Foreclosed. Make sense? I had to work with the city, do lots of different stuff. So, what's cool with this house is this looks sick. There we go. You guys can already tell. New roof, new painted, touch up lots of different paint. We did accents. This is we built columns. I hired a decorator from City Home Collective. So This is not get rich quick. This is accumulate wealth. Does that make sense? Tangent. I'm on a mastermind from some investors, and they live everywhere. It was invitation only. I went to the first time this year. It was in Kentucky. It's like Boondocks, Kentucky. BFE, big farms everywhere. Cool question. One of the people in the group, she's a lawyer, said, how much in assets do you think we need at retirement? That's an awesome question. She's a lawyer. She practices real estate law. She owns assets. Everyone's giving different opinions. 15,000, 10,000, 20,000. Guess what my question was? How much do you want in assets at retirement? At what age? And what's your ROI? And most, like 7 people are like, whoa, we never thought about that before. Because they all think about what they want their payments to be, but they have no idea how to get there. Does that make sense? Like anyone can say, I want $10,000 a month, but how are you going to earn $10,000 a month in passive income, let alone if you haven't even made it an active income? Does that make sense? So, it's awesome. I'm not an attorney, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an accountant. We have not a realtor, I'm a mortgage lender. I'll give some lending advice, I'll give some opinions, but you guys need to do your due diligence, okay? Okay, we're talking about buy and holding versus fix and flipping. Take really good notes, I'll do questions at the end. I'm Matt Atkinson. Here's about myself. I've been a mortgage broker since the end of 2001. Has anyone seen The Big Short? I just barely watched that movie for the first time last week. That totally is what I experienced. It's funny, but it's not funny. Because a lot of people lost a lot of stuff. Mortgage lenders, realtors, builders, title officers, plus the consumers. What's funny about it, though, is I not only survived it, but I've thrived in it after. I bought most of my flips. I learned how to do flips with the down market. So most people who want to do investing now, what's the market done in the last 5 years? It's gone up. It's trendy. That's why everyone's doing $36,000 coaching programs. And I'm not making fun of you. I'm just making a comment. I did the same thing. That's called I did two buy and holds. And what was my total investment? Like $25,000 into each property. So how much money is that? 50 grand. I spent that in 12 months. So you can either spend a bunch of money on coaching that might not help you get where you want, or you might have a little more money than most people and totally over improve it and be like, oh crap, I wish I had someone to help me out. Does that make sense? So I'm empathetic with both. I used to be a lender nationally. I've done loans in 40 states. So I helped people in different markets. I've done $40,000 houses in Ohio to $750,000 house in New York. I was like, holy cow, $750. It's like a 1,200 square foot house. Okay, the point why I'm bringing this up, same thing as Orange County in the Peak. The point why I'm bringing this up is I have a different perspective doing mortgages all throughout the United States. Right now I've been choosing to only focus on Utah because I got plenty of business that I have right now. I'm actually thinking of probably doing California because it'd be very easy for me to go out there and do a seminar once a month, do real estate investing here, and I can do a lot of cool transactions out there. Okay? Bought my first rental in 2004. In 2006, so I'm really anal, I bought 12 rentals. So I did what a lot of people are doing right now. They're just buying to buy. They don't know any better. Does that make sense? They just want to get in the game. Here's what's awesome. I've never short sold a house. I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm just giving you an example. Never short sold a house, never done a deed in lieu, never foreclosed. I've definitely missed a payment or two on someone else's mortgage because that's kind of funny, but not. Okay, because I didn't have my paperwork correctly. But I'm giving you an example of how I built up my portfolio. Been investing for 14 years. I want to share this also. Has anyone heard of Russ Whitney? One person. Wow. He's the Armando Montalongo of 10 years ago. So I was his preferred mortgage lender. So what did happen? People would do in real estate coaching. They'd pay a bunch of money. I was their resource. They'd call me. I'd do all these mortgages all throughout the United States. Learned all these weird things that they were doing. Like, what are you talking about? That's what helped me learn, whoa, there's just a lot of different ways just than buying a residential mortgage with 20% down or refinancing off hard money. Done over 1,200 mortgages. So let's say I've looked at 1,200 people's credit. That's 2,400 conversations I've had. I've looked at a lot of people's financials. That's why I'm really anal and particular and passionate, I don't know, overbearing, however you want to call it, depending on if you like me or not. That's why I say this, is because I've looked at a lot of people's stuff. Here's what's really cool. I've looked at a lot of people who lost homes 7 years ago. They're totally buying again, and they're buying a bunch. So it's come full circle how to help. Did my first flip in 2007. I've been coaching people since 2009. So qualify this. I bought my first property in 2004, so I was doing investing for 5 years before I started coaching people. Because I would see that someone's like, this is your first time coming, huh? Yeah. So I'd see like Dr. Roller would be like, oh, I want you to buy me a house or help me coordinate it. And I would take all this time. And then he'd buy like a $60,000 house in Kearns, just being honest. And I'd spend probably 20 hours to try to help him. Just not cost effective for me to do. Doesn't mean I don't like it. It just means like it's just not the best use of my time. Why I'm sharing this though in a different scale is I've learned, hey, with technology and my own experiences and video and properties and other things like that, I can help people learn versus driving around all over the place. Does that make sense? Cool example, this house that I was talking about, this fourplex, I still have never been to the house. It's only in downtown Salt Lake. So it's not like it's far away. Just don't want to go to downtown Salt Lake. Okay? Or when I do, I'm at like Fleming's on Saturday night. I don't want to take my wife to Post Street. Okay? She's not going to be very happy. So I like local. So please write this down. Out of these topics, which are the 3 that are the most interesting to you? So out of these topics, which of these 3 are the most interesting to you? And please rank them. 1, 2, and 3. Please write this down. Jason, he's better at the lights are on, or you're good?
I'm good.
Okay. Raise your hand if you have at least 3 written down. Take another 30 seconds. Okay, ready? So I currently own 76 rental doors. So here's this little weird thing I have personally. My goal, my little item is if I've done 100 of these transactions, I would say I'm an expert. Okay? There's people who are teaching that have done 5 and they say they're experts. It's called Renatus. I'm not joking. Okay? They're not an expert if they've done 5. I've done 70, like probably 82 fix and flips, give or take 2. I only keep track of these once a year when I actually have to update it and care. But why I'm bringing this up is I've done some transactions. I'm now going, this sounds really weird, I'm all in the 70s. Last year we did 36 wholesales. This year we're at 18. It's already halfway through the year. Our goal's 50. So I'm probably at about 55 to 60 wholesales. Only changed that focus 3 years ago. What does that mean? There were opportunities, I just didn't capitalize on it. There were deals in front of my face all the time. I just didn't even think about, oh man, I could put this under contract and sell it to Mike. Does that make sense? Just didn't think about it. I've bird dogged. Now, I've never gotten paid on a bird dog because I've never asked. I definitely gave other people information and they've bought properties. I've bought properties from bird doggers. So I would say that's probably the thing I've done the least. I've done 4 lease options. None of them executed them. Okay? I'm actually putting a house under contract for a lease option. It's an awesome strategy that people underutilize. And I've bought and sold probably 25 to 30 notes. Okay? So notes is a different way that I'm creating income. Hi. So, if buy and hold was one of your 3, raise your hand. Okay, cool. Fix and flip, one of your 3. Wholesaling, one of your 3. Bird dogging. Okay, good. Lease options. Holding notes. Only 2? Okay, cool. So I would say I feel super confident I could teach this with anyone in the state of Utah very competently. This is not my core competency. You're not going to hear me talk on lease options much. I'll touch on them. Holding notes, I'm not going to teach on that because of other reasons. Not my core competency. I've done it, but not enough to be like, oh, here you do X, Y, Z. Does that make sense? I just feel like when you know enough, but you don't know all of it, you just totally do yourself a disservice. So we're going to focus first on buying holding strategies, okay? I'm going to run through this really quickly. but detailed. Number one, the traditional investor is going to buy a property for 180. These are happening all the time. I probably get a mortgage like this once a week. So an investor doesn't want to do what you guys are doing, trying to learn it. They don't go to the RIAs. They're just like, hey, I just want to buy an income property. I want to get a cash-on-cash return of 6%, and I'm okay. Is there anything wrong with that? Not at all, okay? But this happens all the time. That's what drives me nuts. Because if they learn a little bit more, they'll get better. They just choose not to, which is okay. Here's why I'm bringing this up. They buy a property, they put 20% down. Just for this illustration, I do understand there's other ways to do it, but for this illustration, they put 20% down, and they're still putting 10 grand into the property. They're over improving it. They're putting in new carpet and new paint, where they only need to clean the carpet and not do any paint. And then they're putting stainless steel appliances in because that's what they want. Does that make sense? It's happening all the time. So their total investment's $46,000. Their payment's $751. This is based on a 4.75% interest rate. Excuse me, this is not a mortgage class. This is just for illustrations, okay? Taxes and insurance are $150. The rent's $1,200. The net cash flow is $300 times 12 is $3,600. ROI is 7.8%. Is that a good ROI? Yeah, it's good. It's better than what you probably got 10 years ago. But it's good. Is it great? You can do more. Don't say yes. No, it's because most people are not even knowing what their ROI is. Does that make sense? So I was talking to a financial planner today at 4 o'clock, correct, Derek and Dominic?
Yep.
They were on the call. Talked to a planner. He wants to buy some real estate. I asked him, what's a good ROI that you'd like to get? He said between 8 and 10. Is that correct? So he said 9. So I already talked to him last Thursday that if he can buy a property at 9%, he doesn't want to do any work. He doesn't want to do any repairs. Wants a property manager to deal with it. He wants to let it ride. Is that a good strategy?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay? So this is normal. Got it? Here's the better way. My way. You're buying the similar house across the street, though, for $130. Okay? You're going to buy this off the you're normally not going to buy this off the MLS. Now, I am closing on a house tomorrow for my birthday that I got off the MLS, okay? So they're still available. Today, I had a property under contract that the seller wouldn't come down, so we withdrew the offer last week. What did we do this week? We rewrote another contract for lower. Will I get it? Maybe. At least I'm asking, right? I went over it with Derek and Dominic again and Lonnie today, and we went over it really detailed, saying, look, this is why I want this price. I'm okay not to pay more than this, but let me show you why I want this price, or I'm not going to pay more than this. And you guys were like, whoa, we never thought about this before. And I showed them how to change it with the higher and best use based on just like modifying the floor plan. I'm not doing an addition, I'm just making it better. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's assume I get a property like that, like I'm buying tomorrow, okay? The acquisition, this duplex, I don't even want to tell you what I bought it for. Never mind. This, it's a great turnkey rental. You buy the house for $130. I bought it for $110. Is that good? Duplex in Glendale?
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome.
In this market?
I'm going to list it for $195. Okay? And I tried to wholesale it. No one would buy it. Short list. It's too good of a deal. They're like, no, there's something wrong with it. Yeah, it's called you have to close on 5 days. All right, okay, so acquisition. You buy it for $130. Your initial investment, change that, write that down. Initial investment, please. Down payment, $10K. So that's hard money costs and long-term costs, okay? You're going to pay those out of pocket after, I'll show you. Your mortgage note's $140. Excuse me, you're not. Your rehab's $20. Your total investment's $20 because we took this plus this and we refinanced it. Does that make sense? So we're out of pocket $20. My payment's $730 because I'm financing $140 versus $144, still at 4.75% interest rate. Does that make sense? Taxes and insurance $150. Rent's $1,200. In my opinion, I actually think you would rent it for more because it's going to be nicer, but I didn't show that for more for the sake of this example. Does that make sense? I guarantee my house, not pimped out, rental style, versus this house in average style will get me at least $50 a month.
More.
I'm being conservative, okay? So the reason why I'm sharing this, your total investment's $20,000. You still cash flow annually. For this example, 3840. Your cash on cash returns 19.2%. Which one's better? A or B? A, raise your hand. B, raise your hand. Good. We all agree. Holy cow. Okay, this is like the difference of me and everyone. And everyone else is doing this, learning this from me in Utah. Who has questions? It was like so important. No questions? Good, thank you. Go ahead, sir.
How do you buy it with only 10K down?
I just showed you.
He doesn't. Tell us again. You need
Good, okay, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to assume what people know. Fair? I'm happy to explain it again. Did you have a question, ma'am?
It was kind of the same.
What was your, was it only because you're both wearing red shirts? All right, cool.
Just how do you find that property?
Okay, finding it is different than buying it. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll answer both. Number one, you actually need to know that you can qualify to buy a property within probably 5 to 10 days. Okay, so most of you, if this is your first time, it's probably not the property for you, even the third or fourth time. I looked at a lot of houses for a long, long time before I felt comfortable doing this. When people do it too quickly, like the guy who bought the triplex in Ogden, who I told him not to do the Ogden triplex, well, he bought it anyways. Oh, this is hard, okay? So you need to first find a property that's distressed. Distressed doesn't mean it's totally hammered. The distress could be based on the seller's motivated. Does that make sense? Death in the family, probate, coming out of probate, short sale, notice of default, divorce, job transfer. Can I see this? I'm going to tell you how all these motivated sellers real quick. Top left-hand corner was an estate sale. Top right-hand corner is their foreclosing. Bottom right-hand corner was an estate sale. Bottom left-hand corner, investor, burned out investor. Does that make sense? So are there multiple ways? Yeah, absolutely.
So how are you finding those?
People bring them to me. Would you like to learn how to find out more about them? Good, you can spend 6 hours with me on the 27th. We're going to go over that tons. The focus is not how to find them with this class. The focus is how to actually learn how about finances. Is that okay? So, the one I'm buying tomorrow, a realtor brought it to me that's a short sale. It's on the MLS. Does that make sense? Is it a public? Absolutely. His buyer backed out because it was out of their scope of work. That's okay. So what does he do? Calls me, would you like it? Send me a video, yeah, I'll buy it. Okay? Now you asked, what's your name, sir?
Richard.
Richard. You have a deep voice, Richard. Okay, so I like that. How do you buy this? You get it with a hard money loan. Or OPM, other people's money. Okay? You can use your own cash. I don't encourage that. I can go over examples. Let me go back. I can send you videos on why you don't do that. But this is how I buy properties. I buy properties that have to get moved quickly, that fit my portfolio, and I'm using other people's money. Cool? And in 2006, I bought them all this way. I didn't buy as good of deals because I didn't know any better. I paid higher margins, and I over-improved the crap out of them because I didn't have myself to teach me. I just totally remodeled them too much. And I didn't do any of the work myself. Yes?
What are your thoughts on using your own cash and doing a HELOC up to 80% LTV?
What if the HELOC freezes? What if the markets go down? What if they won't allow cash out again? 2008 all over. Could that happen again? Could. That's why I don't like it. Because in 2008, they discontinued no more cash outs on rentals, no more even refis after 4 properties. So you had a lot of investors who were stuck. Then the portfolio lenders, who they're a pain and they have crappy rates and they're weird to work with, they all froze up too. Cool. So, great question. I like to find better deals.
So how many loans can you have conventionally?
10. Pretty easy. Commercial is pretty hard for me. I'm doing a commercial loan right now. It's really, really painful. But 10, If you have a good accountant, you actually don't expense everything. You do capital improvements, have an intelligent conversation when you put enough repairs in. 10, pretty easy. I got someone who only makes 45 grand a year, and they have like a $1,000 house payment, and they have 9 houses, 9 rentals, so 10, because they have no other debt. Now, do I think this is bad? No. I'm still okay with it. I think it's a great way. Sometimes some people are like, I don't want to do all that work. What do you do? Then buy turnkeys. The difference is maybe you spend $5,000 more, but you don't have to put a dollar into it, and your cash on cash return increases because your initial investment decreases. Does that make sense? So this is a great way. My last year, actually, someone asked me, I said, this is the best question of the whole bus tour. They're like, if I did everything different, what would I do? I would have bought my first house like this, just turnkey. I didn't want to fix up anything. Okay?
Better than your money sitting in the bank.
You say that again.
It's better than having your money just sit in the bank.
Good. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, down. Utilize hard money to avoid down payments. It's leverage. Okay. Sophistication. Rehabs. Makes value-driven repairs. Investment. We invest less capital. ROI. We realize a better return. Got it? Okay, cool. Next house. This is awesome. This is 232 East Rosewood Avenue. I bought this from a realtor who was about to short sell, and we bought it with seller financing. 5 years ago, I would have got it with a hard money loan. My costs would have gone up. In this example, I only paid 4.5%. I brought it current, paid 4.5%, paid a mortgage payment every single month, versus paying 12%. That saves me 8% on 150 grand. It's like $1,200 a month, maybe 1,100, plus a point. That's another 1,500. So let's say 5 months, 5,500 plus 1,500, 7 grand. I just showed you how to save 7 grand. Now probably be like, how do you do this? You got to learn more. It's more than just 5-minute me talk about it. But I'm giving you an example of progression. I did not know how to do this when I first started, even probably 5 years into it. I just didn't think about it. No one showed me how to do that. Why I'm sharing this with you though, same green roof. When I first started, I would have really re-roofed the whole house because it was green. Because I was like, oh, it's green. What we did, we hired a decorator for $150 to pick out paint options. And we just said, you tell us what colors to paint. We don't want, it's like, you want to go with this? You want to go with this? No, just you choose. You choose, put the colors on so my guys know where to paint, and what do? We don't have to think about it, right? I'm not going to going back, oh, this looks so cute. It accentuate your hair. Okay, whatever. The point is, I like to be systems, okay? But what's cool is this gives you a base hit. This is in like 300 East-ish, between 2nd and 300. So we would have used to like put all the sod down. What do? We just tilled it, raked it out, and say, hey, here you go, guys. Go at it. We got a full price offer. But we priced it accordingly without it. Does that make sense? So I learn by not overpricing stuff. I had to think about how to say that better. Okay, same interior. I paint all my houses the same color. Every single house. They don't have to think about it. Trust me, I used to pick all these different colors. My first maintenance guy told me, you just need to paint one color. I'm like, no, you don't know anything. You're just my maintenance guy. Then like 2 years later, I'm like, oh, I totally should have listened to you 2 years ago. I don't know what sheen it is and what color it is and all these rentals. So they're all the same color. Desert Fawn, Builder Spec, Qual Paint. I just literally told you what to do. Desert Fawn, Builder Spec, Qual Howell Paint. Satin finish. It wipes really well on the walls. We spray the ceilings and the walls the same color.
There is no fall house anymore.
What is it now?
Sherwin-Williams.
Sherwin-Williams, Qual Paint. They still buy it from there. See, that's good. I don't want to know that. I don't go buy my paint. My peeps buy my paint. But they can still buy that paint. They bought some this last week. Cool. Does that give you a good example? Okay. I'm going to do a fix and flip example. So remember, this is still the first house. Make sense? So I'm showing you how there's different strategies depending on the deal. Now, just because you're trying to fix and flip, that doesn't mean the rental is going to be a good rental because you might have to put too much money into it. Does that make sense? You also don't want to buy a rental and force it saying, oh my gosh, it's freaking annoying. Oh my, okay, where's the other battery?
It's just a spare battery.
Oh my gosh, I gotta flip it. Don't do that. Make sense? Know your numbers up front. Don't say I want to just get my teeth. I don't know, I want to grind my teeth, or I don't know what the saying is. I just want to do one just to do one. Don't do that. Like, make money or don't do it. Help them, please. Okay, so sales price 200. Got it? That's called your ARV, after repair value, or ARV. Transaction fees. I always take 10% off the top. I'm gonna break this down really quick. 3% for buyer's agent commission, 3% for seller's agent commission, 3% for buyer's closing costs, 1% for seller's closing costs. I've audited about 40 of my sales, and this all fits within like 5 basis points. If you don't know what 5 basis points are, that's good. Don't worry about it. Okay? The reason why I'm sharing this, if you're a realtor, good for you. Make commission as a realtor. But don't say, part of my commission is going to help me do the deal. Does that make sense? You need to get paid for what you do for a living. Okay, rehab. Let's say that house, remember how it cost, how much it cost on the buy and hold? You guys remember? 20 grand. Good. So fix and flip, I'm definitely going to spend more money on a fix and flip. 30 grand. My hard money fees, 8 grand. Remember how much was it on the other transaction? 10. You know why it's less on this one? Holding time. I also don't have long-term refinance costs. Make sense? Acquisition price. I got to get it a little lower, right? 120. Are there houses available like this? Yes. Are they readily available for new people? No. You're going to compete with me. Now, does it mean you can't get them? No. You can get them. Cool example. Cool but funny. An investor from about 18 months ago that I met at one of the RIAs, I don't remember. He came to a couple of classes like this. He thinks he's too smart. That's why I'm saying this. He found a property for 80 freaking grand in AF. It's awesome. Okay? I'm like, hey, you want to wholesale that? He could easily make 20 grand wholesaling it to me. But he found it. What did he do? He's driving around, has his eyes peeled, sees this ugly house, probably took a $100 course, Googled a couple things, but he found it, which is awesome. He's like, I got this house. I don't know what to do. What do I do? I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Makes sense? I want you to be the lender. Okay, cool. I'll help you. If not, it's just going to be 5 hours of like consumption, and I don't have time for that. So here's what you need to do. His wife's a realtor, part-time. Have your wife pull comps in this format. I send him the exact format, what to do. She literally didn't know how to pull in that format. I'm like, I will talk to you for 15 minutes. I'll come to my office. I'll show you how to pull it. I'm okay to do that. I asked her to ask her broker first, and she didn't. But anyway, so they came to my office for 15 minutes. We looked at the comps and confirmed, like, dude, you got a lot of strategies. You could wholesale this. I would buy it. You could use this as a rental, or you could flip it. What do you want to do? It's like, oh, we want to use it as a rental. I'm like, okay, cool. So I said, based on these comps, all I need you to do is to send me a video. He sends me a video. It takes him like 2 weeks to figure out how to send a video. I'm being honest, just letting you know. But I'm like, hey, I'll fund the deal. So I fund the deal, fund the house. Right now, like 2 weeks into it, he's like, we're starting his mortgage application. He's like, oh, I decided to flip it. Kind of frustrated, but not, because I gave him a 4-month loan. If he's going to flip it, I would have given him how long a loan? 6 months. So what's expiring this month? The loan, right? It's part of planning. So he's going to pay an extra point because he didn't do what? Plan as well. Now, he got an awesome deal. Remember, he could have wholesaled it. I would have probably wholesaled it with him and split 20 grand. But could have wholesaled it. Could have kept it as a rental, but he's choosing to flip it. He has a 100 contract for $199,900. Awesome. Is that awesome? Not normal. He's into it 30 grand. He did a lot of the work himself. He's super stoked. He's like going to Lake Powell all the time now. But the reason why I'm bringing this up, they're available. Does that make sense? Now, are those results typical? No. The most I've ever made on a flip myself is 40. I've never made more than 40. If people do, good for them. Yeah, good for you guys. I don't freaking care. The point why I'm bringing this up is I'm giving you realistic expectations. Does that make sense? Of what to expect. If you can hit 10% of the sales price every single time, you're doing a great job. You guys want to write that down? 10% of the sales price every single time, you're doing a great job. You can remain profitable. Now, these little cocky guys in the back, do you think if I did this full time and didn't do mortgage, I would make more on my flips? Absolutely. I don't care to, because I don't want to dial it in. I just want to just do. Got multiple streams of income. But it's awesome. People can totally kill it on flips. My other comment is just do one project at a time until you got it dialed down. I know someone who has 4 projects and they don't have enough crew and they're just like stressed. They've done like 5 flips in the last 12 months. But they got 4 and the hard money is like stressing them out. And they don't have the capital to finish them.
Do they need a partner?
Not you. You're welcome. But the point is there's lots of opportunities. Does that make sense? Real estate's about solving problems, making opportunities, different things like that. Any questions on this? No? Yes? No? No? Okay. We'll keep going. Okay, cool. So this is the first house, the one that I said that took 12 months. On the photo on the left, does it look like there was a kitchen there before? No. On the photo on the right, does it look like there's a kitchen there? So we totally changed the configuration. This is why it took so long, is we were stuck on how to remodel it. Because it was so bad. Does that make sense? But it was awesome because we had 11 offers when we listed it. Totally not normal, the most that's ever happened. I listed it low and it got bid up. So, any questions with this? A lot of planning.
What kind of flooring is that?
Laminate.
Okay.
Good question.
Did you shorten the windows? The length?
Yes, we raised them. Yep, because right here, they were lower than 3 feet. So I don't want to have windows go into the cabinets. I don't think I've seen that before on purpose. No, I have seen it before. I've bought houses like that. But that's why I said on purpose. Does that make sense?
Hey, you could start a new trend.
There's some other trends I'd rather start. How's that? Okay. What other questions do you guys have? That's it?
What's your color of the baseboards?
I'm sorry?
What color, do you have standard baseboard color?
White.
Sheen?
Semi-gloss. For rentals too. Yep, just white. I'm sorry?
What's the countertop?
Quartz is freaking expensive. I'd only do quartz in like a $400,000 house again. Yes.
You said it took you so long because you were trying to figure out how to remodel it. Was like after you figured out how to remodel it, did it go
Quicker.
like did you just talk with your contractor or whoever you were working with for like a few months and then you decided? Hey,
Yeah, a couple challenges. Number one is you have to give plans to the building, the city. You've got to know all of it. Mechanical, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, structural engineering, window measurements, R value for insulation. It's a lot of stuff.
Every time you remodel a house.
Yeah, you're supposed to. So on this one, we were just stuck. Like, how do we want to do it? And I got to be honest, I just like got disinterested. I was like, I don't freaking care. And then my dad's like, oh, what are you gonna do with this house? And I'm like, we'll finish it. Like I was like, I just don't care. And then when I saw when it was done, probably from the time that we like got the 4-way passed off, because once you have the 4-way, it's pretty good if you use the same people over.
What do you mean?
4-way inspection. 4-way inspection. Do you know what that is? Okay, so electrical, plumbing, HVAC is the 4-way. So you've already done framing, insulation done already. So our electrician went MIA in the middle. So normally you pay them. That doesn't happen frequently to me. Normally you have to call them a little bit. But we're just like, screw you, gotta use a new guy. No other contractor wants to go finish someone else's work. They're gonna charge you 30% more, because they can. Just like when someone comes to me like, hey, I need a deal funded in 2 days. I'm like, oh, that's gonna cost you an extra point. Why didn't you call me last week? The other hard money lender fell out. It happens a lot, okay?
Are all your contractors licensed?
All the mechanical ones are. What other questions do you guys have? Yep.
So the baseboards are semi-gloss. Are the walls satin?
Yeah.
Or are they also semi-gloss?
Satin.
And that's the same for a rental?
Yeah. Yep. Easy to clean. Yes.
If you've got something that's got that like popcorn wall molding on it,
Popcorn wall molding
well, like
or
the,
ceiling?
No, it's not ceiling and the walls, but the walls have like bubbles on it, like a texture.
Oh, okay.
Weird
Lath
bubble.
and plaster?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll retexture.
Do you take it off, or
No, what do you mean by take it off?
if you buy something that already has like bubbly texture all
Yep.
over the walls,
Will I take off the lath?
you take off the texture to make it flat? Because most houses I see now they're just flat walls. That's kind of an older thing.
So I'm going to clarify what you said to make sure I understand correctly. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So if that wall is bubbly, what am I going to do? Is that fair?
Yeah.
I'm going to retexture it.
By making it flat, right? Like just
No.
texture it
It'll
like.
just be a different.
It's less work. Good question. It's less work to put a coat of. First of all, I've never done this before. Okay, but I've watched it done a lot, and it's not on Google. But I know what it's done. Okay, so I literally put coat of mud in. If it's not cold, just let it dry for a day. Or I might put 30. My guys will put 30-minute hot mud in, so they go patch. Then they'll put another coat on, maybe like an hour to go patch it again, and then they'll come back the next day. Then depending on how it looks, what are they going to do? They're going to texture it like this. This is called wholly smooth. So they're going to texture it like this. It's less coats of mud versus trying to get it completely flat. So I've done it over paneling and wallpaper and lath and plaster and drywall and
You just mud right on top of the existing texture.
and brick. Yes, I've tried all of those. I won't do brick again. I won't do paneling again.
What's this technique called?
Which one?
Doing the pattern on top, covering it.
Drywall. I don't know what it's formally called.
Okay.
I just know.
What's this pattern called?
Oh, sorry. Sorry for not being more clear.
It's okay.
Wholly smooth. And they should charge you less for this type of texture versus flat walls. So you should ask for like 10-cent discount. Is that a good one? 10 cents? A couple $100? And if they say it's the same price, total bullshit. It's way less work. Okay? So here's a good example. Look at that. Wallpaper. So in here, we tiled all the way to the ceiling. It's more money, but we just did it to look really cool. And this is the same house. You see we changed the configuration. Not necessarily, oh yeah, we flip-flopped. Toilet over here, sink over there. I don't know, what were they thinking back then? But yeah, we always put the toilet next to the tub. As many times as possible. Any questions? Is this fun? Whoa, we're only part 2. Risks and benefits. Excuse me, buying and holding benefits. Okay, so, funny comment. This mastermind group, the attorney who posted over the weekend, hey, how much do you think you should have in assets? In my opinion, this is the best way to grow your assets as large as possible. And then when you get older and you have white or light hair, like with walls, then you'll reevaluate how to liquidate your assets. Does that make sense? Most people are not doing notes if they don't have any capital up front. Most people. So here's the benefits. You guys all agree with that? Okay? There's the risks. So this is why most people don't want to do it. So everyone write down your top 3 benefits and your number 1 risk. Okay? Top 3 benefits and number 1 risk. You guys have it written down? Awesome. Okay, let's do fix and flips. Here's the benefits. Now I'm going to do this opposite. Write down your biggest benefit and your 3 biggest risks. Your biggest benefit and your 3 biggest risks. and I want you to put 1, 2, and 3 next to the biggest risks. Because sometimes we get stuck on little things that you're like, oh, I actually got that resolved. Does anyone want to share a risk concern? Yes.
Lack of experience.
Lack of experience. I'm going to give you 3 solutions. Ready? So say your name.
Robin.
Robin. You got this, Jason? Quit texting your wife.
No, I'm not. I'm taking notes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Whoa, you're getting edgy, dude. Yeah, you need to calm down a little bit. You've been working too much since 2012. Been watching that video. Is that good? All right, okay, good. Okay, lack of renovation. So here's solution number 1. Ready? Number 1. Film someone else's rehab every week for free. And once a month, ask to meet them there at the project. Does that make sense? Are you providing service for them?
Yes.
Yeah, you're holding them accountable so then they don't have to go look at it. No, I'm being serious.
So film it for them?
Yeah, go film it for them. I've had people in Davis County film houses for me. They're not very good at first, but after the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th video, it's awesome. They don't have to go look at it. That's option number 1. Option number 2.
You said I want to film someone else's flips once a week?
Yeah, once a week, the same time every single week, so it'll show you the progress of the remodel. And then when they go there, meet them there. Make sense? So are you creating value for that investor? Absolutely. Someone films houses for me and I don't have to go look at them? That's awesome. Number 2, actually watch someone who has a lot more experience, their videos. So something that we do with MJA Real Consulting is every single month we'll have a remodel of the month that we've filmed 4 to 9 times in the past that people can watch from your computer. It'll show you every single week the progress, how fast or slow it goes. That saves you an hour to go drive to a property every single week, and you can actually see, holy cow, I see the progress. That's like amazing. Because you can sit and watch it, and then you're like, holy cow, I see how they change configuration, or how fast, or how slow, or all these other moving parts. Number 3, lack of renovation experience. Partner with someone and make sure you offer them enough that they would want to partner with you. And everyone wants different stuff. Now, don't do an 80-20 and don't reevaluate your operating agreement for 5 years. I know, it's crazy, huh? Stuff I learned at Pitbull concerts. Okay, so the reason why I'm bringing this up, lack of renovation experiences, I gave you 3 solutions. Wait, were you at Pitbull too?
No.
Oh, okay. Cool. I was like, I could have talked to you, I just might not have remembered. I had a sore back that night. Okay, so I give you 3 options? Okay, cool. Anyone else want to share one? Yes.
No long-term wealth creation.
Okay, so yeah, that's definitely a challenge. So why do most of us want to do flips? Let's be honest, because we all need more capital, right?
Yeah, quick income.
We need more capital. Well, a couple ways to have more capital. Number 1 is have a job. I'm being serious. Last month, the same people aren't here. I can't believe they're not here. But there was 5 people who didn't have jobs. Okay? And then they're like, oh, we just want to be full-time investors. Oh. Like, sounds bad, but like, get a job in the field that you're interested at least. There's a lot of awesome entry-level positions that you can earn and learn at the same time, develop some skills. You might get out of, I don't want to be an investor next year anyway, because it's too hard. Makes sense? So, number 1 with that. Number 2, long-term wealth creation. What's the solution? You could fix a flip. You could fix a property, do a lease option on it, hold it for 12 months, make sure your hard money offsets it, which it does, then sell it. Then you go from short-term capital gains to long-term capital gains. Is that correct? 12 months? Say yes. Good. Okay, so 12 months. Then you can get a $5,000 to $10,000 lease option fee. Lots of people are willing to do that. Don't name a price up front. Give yourself a floor. I'm teaching like some really sick high-level stuff that people are not getting. You don't name a price up front. You give yourself a floor, so then when they exercise it, you have the upside, but you have a bare minimum. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's number 2. Number 3. That's what I say. Get a job. No longer, okay. Ask your boss what you can do to earn more money. But give them 3 solutions. Now, Derek, what if you asked me that? What do you think I would say?
He probably would. To complete what I'm supposed to do first.
Good. Done. What did you say?
I said bird dog.
She said
Bird dog?
and I said, yeah, you definitely would.
I would say bird dog, but what did Derek say?
Get done what he has to do first.
Yeah, get done what he's supposed to do first. Is that easy? A lot of people don't execute at what their responsibilities are, so when they do evals, they're not going to earn more.
Or
But if
get
you-
additional opportunity.
Yeah, but if you said, hey, if I can do X, Y, Z, how could I earn more? Guess how many times I've brought that up to my team? At least once a quarter. Guess how many people have brought it up to me in the last 5 years? 1. Yep. Yes.
So back to hard money. So you said least option on a hard, while using hard.
I'll have to watch my video again.
Because
Yeah, you
it's
did.
been my experience with hard money that a lot of the lenders don't want the property occupied.
Why?
Well, they want you, it's usually 6 months. They want.
Wait, there's a difference. What you just said and what your statement was after. If you found a hard money lender who was willing to take a longer loan, that they don't have to churn it, do you think they'd be open to that?
Yeah,
Yes.
introduce me to one.
That's why you're here today. Matt's recommendation to buy and hold. Make sense? There's a lot of people who don't want to churn the money, they just want the interest. My recommendation, buy and hold, because it helps create long-term wealth. But did I give 3 solutions on the wealth challenge? Right? Okay. Here's what I like with this. Long flipping versus holding. Long-term cash flow to help finance future projects. So one thing that I do is I take all my cash flow from all 76 rentals, and what do? I buy more properties. I'm not living on it right now. I choose not to. I'm just buying more properties. Gonna go on a cool trip every once in a while. Go to a basketball game. Number B, I'm not relying on home runs. I'm all about base hits. Bing, bing. Base hits. Love baseball. Bing, bing, bing. Base hits. Okay? So I've been doing this for 12 years. My first year, second, third, fourth, I had no goals like this. I just buy houses. So working with us in a different capacity, you guys will have some specific 12-month goals and planning goals that you're like, well, you didn't even think about this. Because that's what I do now, and I'm way better because I've got some very measurable, specific goals. Number C, learn to manage money in your projects. So, do you think my tax returns are more complex than a regular person? Yeah. Yes. Do you think, but is it manageable? Absolutely. Do I want to learn how to read financials so I can make an educated decision versus just a regular tax return? Yeah. It's fun. It's fun to have like a $5,000 attorney bill. No, I'm being serious.
You highballing.
Because why?
You're highballing.
I'm highballing. I like that one. Highballing. Yeah, I don't want to get a $5,000 attorney bill because I'm getting sued. But like a planning, like that's fun. Makes sense? That's what umbrella policies are for. Okay, so, key. If you're going to bring us opportunities or whoever you're working with, please write these 2 things first. What is the property worth and what can I get it for? Don't tell me how big it is, how small it is, what color's the room, what the grandma died. I don't care about that crap. What is it worth and what can I get it for? Brian, right? So Brian calls me and said, hey Matt, I'm Brian. You won't remember me next week. And I'll be like, are you the dude with the Pearl Jam shirt? And be like, oh, I don't know who Pearl, do you even know who Pearl Jam is? Oh my gosh. Okay, so if I'm like, are you the dude? Write down Pearl Jam. I'll remember you because of this, okay? Yeah, say, I'm the Pearl Jam dude, okay? So if you say, I'm the Pearl Jam dude, I don't even know who they are, but I got a property. It's $180, I think, and you can get it for $150. Now, I might say that doesn't work for me, but I might be like, oh, that's good. Tell me more about it. Does that make sense? But if Pearl Jam calls and says, is this your buddy?
Yeah.
Jerry. You ready to get made fun of now? No, I'm just joking. You know who Vanilla Ice is?
Heard the name.
Oh my gosh, Vanilla Ice. Holy cow. Holy cow. Dude, am I getting old? I'm 37.
Yeah, you're old
38
now.
tomorrow. Vanilla Ice. So if you write down, I'm Vanilla Ice, what is the property worth and what can I get it for? That's way more important. Does that make sense? Because then I'm going to have an idea why I'm bringing this up. Check out this house. So this house, the investor called and said, hey, the property is worth X fixed up and you can get it for Y. So then what I say, I'm interested. Let me know more about it. But if he says, oh my gosh, the kitchen is a disaster and there's people living in it and it smells like animals and oh, just so bad. I don't want to hear that. Of course, that's what I'm expecting. But if you said, hey, this property is worth $260 fixed up, you can pick it up for $160. Are you interested? Then we'll be like, yeah, I'm interested. Let's chat more. What am I going to say? What's wrong with it? But make sense?
Then he can tell you about it.
Then he can tell. But there's a difference. If you just tell me all the problems up front, it shows me two things. One, you're not a problem solver because you're telling me all the bad stuff. There's literally a psychological difference of how you present data. You guys want to write that down? There's a psychological difference of how you present data. That's not my core competency, but I hear a lot of people pitch me, and I get a lot of people to own whatever I'm telling them to buy. There's a difference. There's a psychological difference of how you present data. So I'm going to talk Dr. Roller, right?
Yes.
So let's say, I'm going to make fun of him because he's a chiropractor, quacker crapper. Let's say his plan is he wants to get patients on a weekly adjustment for $30 a month. Sorry, $30 per adjustment because their back's got something wrong with it. And they're going to do a 12-month plan. So 50 weeks times 30 is only $1,500. But they need to come 3 times that week. It's $4,500. But he gives them a cash deal, versus if they pay with insurance, it might be more. Their co-payment's $15, so still out of pocket their Y. Now, someone might be in so much pain, they're like, oh, I don't care how much it costs, I will pay you. Fair? Someone would be, but if the data is presented poorly, they're going to say, oh, all they want is $4,500, I'll live with the pain. Is that fair? Do we all have pain in our life? There's a reason why I'm bringing it up. We have financial pain, emotional pain, spouse pain, job pain, whatever the pain is. Our objective as investors is to what? Solve the pain or problem solve. Is that fair? It's a big tip. You want to find houses like this, you got to solve problems. Okay? It's not just tell me about how crappy the house is. You don't go inside the house and you walk in and say, oh my gosh, this smells so bad. That happened 3 weeks ago. We brought an investor in to go look at the house, and it's the house they live in. It's rude. Now, you might be like, well, it stinks. Okay, just make your comment, make some notes. You don't know who lives there. Okay, but there's some difference of etiquette. It's sad they're losing their house. Okay? So you got to think about that kind of stuff. Increasing values. 4 pages. Okay, remember how I told you the realtor didn't know how to send this version over to me? You guys, please write this down. You can tell any realtor to do it. I don't even care if they're brand new. They can do it. Okay, so number 1, this is a brief version. Brief. There's 3 options. Brief, medium, or full. I don't want the medium. I don't want the full. I want the brief. More data, the better. I want to analyze it. Number 2, I want it in this way. I want it based on listing highest or lowest to highest in that order. So when a realtor puts their options, they can put listing lowest to highest. And the reason why is I want to see what the market's doing and if the prices are getting bid up or not. A lot of people who are selling the house to me will show me the highest comps first and then we'll go down. I don't want that. I don't want to be sold. I can look at the data myself. Just follow what I'm doing. The bottom of the comps will sell me the data. Make sense? So here's why. When the market hits our peak and then we go back down again, it's just a matter of time. We don't know when. We don't know if we're on this part of the upswing, this part of the upswing, or that part. We won't know for 90 days to 180 days after. Because you don't know until the solds, when it cools down. Okay? But why I'm bringing this up, I learned that as the comps went down, They gave me an example of what it was listed for versus what it sold for. Okay, so this is brief version. I want least expensive list price, and then based on the sold price. So here's what's cool with this. This is a property on Salem Avenue I bought from a bird dogger / wholesaler from a We Buy Houses sign. Has anyone ever called one of those signs? 2 people. Really? You haven't? You haven't?
I have, yeah.
Well, raise your hand. Okay, only 4 people have called. That's a great way to get on buyer's list of people who are actually trying to market. You guys want to write that down? It's a great way to get on a buyer's list for someone who's trying to market. Half the time, no BS. I don't know their phone number because no one's phone number's in my phone. I'll call them. They're like, Matt, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's up? Who is this? Dude, it's so-and-so. I'm like, oh, what's up, so-and-so? I'm like, dude, I call these all the time. Like, I can't believe you actually call them. I'm like, yeah, I call them, like, every time. Because they might have a house that they just barely locked up 5 minutes ago. I'm like, hey, what do you got to sell? So what's cool with this, I bought a property from a wholesaler. It wasn't even his property, it was his buddy's property. He told me about it. I said, I'll go look at it. I was driving on the way home. I said, hey, if I buy it, I'll pay you $1,000. She's like, yeah, that's great. What do you get? Literally a name and a number and an introduction to another wholesaler. And I've bought probably 15 houses from the first investor. Okay? So why I'm sharing this with you is that there's so many comps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Is that a lot?
Yeah.
It's a lot. This is a split level Rambler in Kearns. It's like not a big area. But I'd rather have this much data so it gives me an idea of what I can do with the property. Most realtors will just show me, oh, you can sell for 186, 191, and 184.5. So what's my expectation? Oh, I'm going to sell for X. You guys who are less experienced, you want to analyze all the raw data. Okay? Any questions? This is probably the first important thing is literally understanding the difference of like just a regular investor versus how I buy. I would actually say the second most important thing is analyzing comps. Because let's say you're, David, are you even 30 yet?
No,
What are you, 26?
27.
27? That beard just makes you look old.
Oh.
Is that your wife?
Yes.
Oh, cool. I thought it was your little sister. All right. It's like kind of weird that way. All right, cool. So I like them most of the time. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, let's say in 30 years as a CPA, he knows how to analyze comps though. Do you think he's going to be actively trying to go find real estate deals in probably 30 years? Probably not. Is that fair? You're probably not going to actively go look. Are people going to bring him deals and he'll fund hard money? Is he going to be actively trying to go and do points? And no, he's going to want lazy money and just let it ride. Did I give you a tip? Lazy money to let it ride. It's a cycle. Yes?
I'm sorry if I missed what you were saying.
I'm sorry, I'll work on my communication
No,
skills.
it's probably me.
That's true.
I
That's
just
what my wife
thought
said
it-
too. All right.
How do you get this brief version? Are you asking realtors for it?
Yeah. But I've got 2 on my staff.
Okay. So you find
Thank
a
you.
property and then you.
Yep. Good question. Yes?
So what's the benefit to the realtor? I mean, why are they going to pull that up if you're going to wholesale it? They're not going to make any commission on it, or
Well-
what's
It's relationships.
the, okay.
So don't burn them out. When I first started, I paid appraisers to pull comps. But here's a cool question. So before you pull comps, there's 3 ways to find out values for at least an idea. Okay? Number 1, tax records will tell you at least a ballpark of what the county says it's worth. Can anyone access that? Yes, it's free. Number 2, don't love it, but Zillow gives you a ballpark example. At least it's a ballpark. Number 3 is a little more using your brain. So I got Richard in the front. You can actually go on the MLS as a consumer and look at what active homes are available. What active homes are available will give you a pulse on what the market is. You don't need the solds and the under contracts yet. If you want to have an idea, if you wanted to pull up a split level home, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,600 square feet to 2,000 square feet in Kearns, you'll get a good idea of what's available. Does that make sense? I give you 3 options. You don't have to, and then if you're already looking and vetting the property, you just call active signs. I call active signs all the time. I don't any longer. I just, if I want to look at a house, I'll just type a photo, send it to my team, and they'll pull the comps myself. Or sometimes if I'm not in a hurry too much, not like 3 years ago, if I'm not in as big a hurry, I like calling realtor signs because a lot of times I can get mortgages from them. Especially if I know them. I'm like, oh, hey, Gene Smith. Hey, what's up, man? I haven't talked to you in 4 years. Yeah, that's cool. I have a weird, for some reason, I remember things really well a lot of times. Certain things. But I'm like, oh, I remember we talked 4 years ago. You got divorced. You were wanting to buy a rental. Did you buy one? Holy cow, how do you remember? But I'm just giving you different examples of how to do that. It's not hard. Just pick up the phone. PUTFP. Pick up the freaking phone. Don't just send a little email. Hey, I want that house. Pick up the phone. Okay, homes are based on above ground GLA. So, last tip of the night. So both of these houses are 2,000 square feet. They're split levels. Has anyone seen this exercise before? 2 people? 3. Good. 4. I'm going to do it again because you'd be surprised how many people don't get this. I would argue this any day with other people who are not appraisers. So GLA means gross living area. It's the total square footage above grade. And I'll bring up this house that I'm keep offering on today. That's why. So this one's 1,400 square feet above grade, 600 square feet in the basement. It's got a 2-car garage. Do we all agree? This one's 1,000 square feet above grade and 1,000 square feet in the basement. It's got a 2-car garage. Do we both agree? They're both attached. Do we both agree? It's got a fireplace, right? Let's imagine they are exactly similar quality of work inside. Which one's worth more? The one on the left or the one on the right? So this is A, this is B. A, raise your hand. B, raise your hand. Pearl Jam, raise your hand. Good, okay, good. Follows direction pretty well. A, because the total square footage is larger above grade. Got it? Remember, how many square feet is this? 1,400. So I'm going to use sold comps between 12 to 1,600 square feet above grade with a smaller basement. Huge. So I bought a house 2.5 years ago. It's one of my best lawsuits. I got sued after. Nothing I did wrong. Just part of the title chain from a bankruptcy attorney. But we bought a house like this that I was like, man, why is this not sold? It's probably like 2012 when the market was going up and people were bidding up more properties. So as I pulled the comps, I'm like, oh crap, this is awesome. It's like totally I actually put these photos after because of this house. The split level, okay? So I bought the house just like this. I fixed it up. I pushed the value because I know I have more square footage and it came at the value that I wanted.
But you recognize that?
Yeah. Because there's more square footage above GLA. So this house that we're looking at right now, why I shared this just gives you an example of you don't need to over improve a backyard. Is that fair? I'm being serious. This is probably $100, maybe $150 of mulch and a day of cleanup. So what's the total investment? $250 to $300 maybe, depending on who the person was. Or a weekend for you. If you got that much spare time, you either really love it or you need to find something else to do to earn more money. There's nothing wrong with that. Just I freaking hate manual labor. I respect it. I'm really bad at it. So, but why I'm sharing this with you is that a lot nicer? Yeah, but not really, right? What happened? We literally cleaned the yard and threw mulch in.
But it looks better.
Yeah. But is that $300? When I first started, we would have like taken it all out and put sod down. No, we would have taken it all out and then put sprinklers in. And then, I'm being serious, then put sod in because we didn't know any better. We're like, oh, it's got to have sprinklers. It's like $500 a valve. Got 5 valves. $2,500. Oh, man, that's so much. Let's just rent our own trencher and have our guys try to figure it out. Okay? I'm sharing things that I've done before. So back to my, what was I talking about?
The house with
GLA.
Oh, GLA. So this house is 700 square feet on the main floor. Small house. 700 square feet in the basement. On the main floor, there's no bedroom. In the basement, there's 2 bedrooms. So what am I doing? I am beating that price down, because a no bedroom house on the main floor is definitely less desirable. Now, I know how to close off a wall, open up a wall, and build a closet. So if I get it low enough, I'm going to be able to convert it to a 1 bedroom, 1 bath on the main floor. No, 1 bedroom, and then 2 bedrooms, 2 baths on the basement. Just experience though, right? Here's a good example of a remodel that I'm going to share this. If this was a buy and hold, the difference, this would be vinyl. Okay?
Would that be one piece of vinyl, or would you be doing
No.
vinyl? The tile vinyl.
Is this recorded? Hell no on vinyl tile.
Okay.
It's poor quality, bad to apply, it separates, no bueno. Gets water in between. Your maintenance guys don't normally know how to install it.
You mean the click down tile for like the bathroom?
No. Just like the 2 you
Paste
butt up
it.
together. Yeah,
Paste
don't.
it together.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah,
about-
so just a sheet.
What about the ones that now they do put together that are vinyl?
I already swore once. No.
Fair enough.
Okay. So vinyl's awesome. It's newer. Looks good enough. Looks great. You have wood looking that stuff. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, that's vinyl.
Yeah, that's all vinyl.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Snap together tiles, they're awesome.
That's more awesome for rentals. Okay, so why I'm bringing this up, I would have kept this and just painted it. I would have put a new toilet in, put new vinyl, and then tiled in here. But I'm giving you an example of how I've learned to step it down based on what my use is for. If there wasn't a window, I'd totally put an insert. Inserts are awesome. Even spec homes between 250 and 3 have inserts. Tiles an upgrade. All day long. Okay? I'm doing new construction loans. They're all like, oh, we're putting tile. It's like $3,000. I'm like, holy crap. Can I go do the tile? Well, can I have my guys do the tile? I'll do it for like $2,500, and I'll buy you a gift certificate for Home Depot for $5. All right. How to increase my value. So, last exercise. This is the bonus one. Here's what I feel are the top 5 ways to normally, don't ruin this, David Lovelace, because I think I know you'll pull it out. Boom, 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 boom. Write down the top 5 ways to increase value that you think, in addition to this. So write down your own. Top 5 ways to increase value in addition to this. So in addition to painting, updating the kitchen, updating the bathroom, new windows, and new carpet. What am I making you guys do? Think. I've read a lot of appraisals when people over-improve stuff on stupid things and they get pissed that it come in an appraisal. Happens too frequently. I'm going to have everyone just share their top 1. Ma'am, with the red shirt, what's your name? I can't read it from there. Renee, what's your number 1?
I'd clean up the front yard.
Clean up the front yard. Jason?
Clean up the neighborhood. I don't know. Sorry, I don't have one.
Okay, clean up the neighborhood. Go ahead, ma'am.
Maybe paint the exterior.
No, no painting.
Oh. I was just thinking, maybe clean up the yard. Yeah.
Sure it is. Okay, sorry, you can't say what someone else
Okay.
said. This is a good exercise. Makes you think. What's your favorite thing in your house?
My backyard.
Awesome. Backyard. Go ahead.
Add square footage of bedroom.
Cheater. Next.
ACs.
ACs. Go. Nate.
Patio?
Patio. Dominic.
These guys took my top 2, so I would say flooring.
Flooring.
That's carpet.
And we'll say tile. Go.
Roof.
Roof is on fire. Go.
I was gonna say floor too. But just
Flooring. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
I'm running out of one, but like, not necessarily the yard, but the front of the house, like painting the front door so it looks new.
How about tighter curb appeal?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Add a garage.
Add a garage. That's expensive. Don't do that. Jerry.
Everything else is
That's
already
okay.
taken.
Go ahead. Go Pearl Jam.
Add a
I
bedroom.
cannot believe you don't know who Pearl Jam is. Yeah, that's actually the best one thus far
Yep.
that they didn't share. Go ahead.
I was gonna say add a bedroom. Finish the basement.
Finish the basement. Okay, go.
negotiate a better deal.
Oh my god. Go ahead.
I have no idea. Any light fixtures?
Oh, no light fixtures. Okay, I'm gonna name 10 that no one named. Ready? Furnace. Someone said AC. New base. Smoke
What
detector.
do you mean by new base?
Baseboard.
Okay.
New doors. Interior doors. Window treatments. How many is that? 3? Is that 5? Cool. New plumbing. New water heaters. New texture. We talked about texture, right? How many is that? Is that 7 or 8?
I think that's 8.
It's 8. Refinishing cabinets. That's not painting. It's refinishing. There's a difference. It's 9. Adding hardware and hinges on cabinet doors makes it look a lot better. So what's the point of this exercise? There's a lot of encompassing things. You guys agree? Number 1, increasing the value. Adding square footage without adding on to the house. So what does that mean? Changing the configuration of the property to make it better. I just gave you an example how I'm going to take a 0-bedroom house on the main floor, make it a 1-bedroom by opening a wall, closing off a wall, putting in a closet, and it's been like this for 70 years. So what does it mean? Just no one can think about how to do it. When I showed you guys, were you guys surprised?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, a lot of times in a house, it's already framed and done. You just don't have heat in the property. So you can run a heat run or electric baseboards, and then you add square footage onto the property. So we have this house in Kearns. It's an awesome turnkey rental. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath right now, and I did not put in a closet on purpose, purely so someone could do it. You can put a closet in one of the rooms to make it a 4-2. By going from a 3-2 to a 4-2, you'll raise rents from probably $1,250 to $1,300 to $1,400 to $1,450. You can get that much more in rent in Kearns on a 4-2, especially Section 8. I got a Section 8 at $1,500. Not that we're just renting everyone to Section 8, but that gives you a good gauge of what's available. Does that make sense? Okay, so here's how we can work with you from here, because I need to go in 1 minute, 2 minutes. I'll do open Q&A for everyone. I just try to go boom, boom, boom. Before that, though, you guys have a flyer, right? So how to work. We teach these classes every single month. You can come as often as you want. It's the first and third Monday of the month. The reason why, there's tons of meat to learn. Is it different than 4 years ago for you? You pick up new ideas?
I'm a little bit more experienced now, so I can understand it better.
Okay, so because you're more experienced, you understand it better?
Well,
Yeah,
No, that's a fair statement.
No, that's-
yeah,
Correct?
Yeah.
yeah,
What you're learning now, or ideas, is different than 4 years ago. Is that fair?
yeah.
Make sense? You could come to this once a year and be like, oh, Matt said this, and I'm actually thinking about it. Does that make sense? You should go to the basics once a year. Tom Hopkins says, you guys Google Tom Hopkins, super smart guy. You got to go to the basics once a year. But why I'm bringing this up, the next workshop is called How to Turn 15,000 into 200,000. It's progression. It's not like, oh, I'm going to turn 15,000 into 200 next week. Maybe drug dealing. I don't even know how to move that much dope.
You need to work your way up.
Yeah, I need to work my way up. All right, I need to be like a lieutenant or something. All right, watch way too much Law and Order. But why I'm bringing this up is it's about growth. Okay, so random Q&As, go.
Windows,
What about them?
do they add value or just a selling point?
Good question. I like to replace all windows that are wood and steel. So if they're single pane aluminum, I might replace them. I might not. But steel and wood, I replace.
Even on a rental?
Depends on what my total budget is. But I do like new windows for heating bills. It's better. It shows that I care. I like putting new vinyl windows in. Yes.
Would you put sod in the front yard of a $360,000 home in Sandy?
Yes. I don't like seed. It's not been very good to me.
Would you put seed in the backyard?
No, I'd leave it bare. Because I think if you put seed and it's like splotchy, you're like, dude, we ran out of money. No, I mean, think about it, right? So if it's tilled and it's all bare, like you literally advertise, plan your own backyard how you like. Okay, a couple other questions? Yes?
At which point in your career did you hire a maintenance person as an employee rather than subbing out contractors? At what level of rentals and flips?
When I had 25.
25 rentals? Did you use that person mostly on rentals or on your flips as well?
Both.
Both.
So, funny, sad thing. One guy, kid we used from 2005 to 2008, the whole time, he was a helper for his father-in-law. Worked. Him and his father, they had not a breakup, but yeah, they broke up. They're like, we don't want to work together. We still worked with the kid. The kid, he was like 26 then, 27. He was good. Worked hard. 2005 to 2008. He quit working with us in 2008. I want to go on my own. No problem. Thank you. Did his first flip. Lost 25 grand. Didn't have 25 grand. Wiped him out. He still lives with his family because he can't recover. It wiped him out. Filed a BK. Blah, blah, blah. Here's why I'm bringing this up. 2 years ago, he was not as busy as he would like to have been. We connected. I'm like, hey, you've been still doing maintenance, remodeling. You know how to do stuff. You can work with us. We're looking for a project manager. I'm not sure. We'll do this one job and let's see how it goes first. Did a good job. Did a great job. Happy with what he did. He didn't take me up on it. So he's still trying to do his second deal. How dumb is that? Think I would help him if he worked with me every day? Yeah. People sometimes want to learn on their own, which is okay. Okay, 2 more questions, and I've got 2 more comments. No more questions?
About anything?
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm leaving right after this.
Okay, great. Yeah, I just came here to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So Salt Lake downtown has a insurance on the pipelines that go to, or like the Salt Lake Utilities has insurance on your sewage pipelines. Has anyone ever utilized that before?
I've been contemplating it. I haven't.
Okay, say that again.
There's insurance that you can purchase on your
Water line?
yeah.
Yeah,
So that
the-
way if the water line blows,
from
like
the
$5
house
a
to
month, and if
the-
your sewer line blows. So if you're in an old house and you are pretty sure those sewer lines are about to blow out, does anyone know any of the stipulations on that? Or like if you get it, like you know how fast it works?
I've never heard that before, but you know what I would do first? I would scope the sewer line.
I'm getting it scoped tomorrow because the sewer line threw up a few hours ago.
So I would. Here's a
You
good
should
tip.
buy your
I would
insurance for
I would scope houses older than the 50s.
What was that?
Yeah.
Scope houses older than the 50s
Yeah.
if you're concerned with it.
I was going to, and then it's been like a week, and then all of a sudden it forced me to do it. So
Sure.
I think you have to wait 30
I'm not
days.
familiar with that.
yeah, but like
Les,
if you get it after it's been done.
Shannon had a couple questions.
I have a lot of questions, but do you know
Hold
if
on.
there's a stipulation on a 1031 exchange, like how many, like,
oh, is that you?
yes,
Oh, he asked me about this. Okay, cool.
yeah, but if
Hold on.
if I do it,
What are you selling it for?
well, it's in a partnership, so my portion of it's about 100,000.
Okay, what percentage of the partnership do you get?
17.
You get 17%?
Yes.
Okay. So the question is, how can I utilize 17% of my partnership to go towards me growing my... Really? You don't know who freaking Vanilla Ice is and you got Mario Brothers? Oh, cow, dude. Oh, I'm embarrassed too. Oh, okay, Google Vanilla Ice. You're like, ice, baby. Okay, so how do I utilize 17% of your partnership to build up your portfolio? Is that your question?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's way more complicated than that, but yes.
Okay. Who's the CPA that does your taxes?
I don't have one.
Who did the taxes on the
The
corporate
guy that
entity?
did the partnership's taxes is dead, so it's the family's breaking up, dissolving the partnership now.
Oh,
so
okay, let me
everybody-
clarify. So this is a family partnership?
Yes.
Okay. What's your phone number? 801. Hold
I
on.
have his number.
Okay.
Okay.
But I was just wondering, like, if there was if you do a 1031 exchange
Hold on.
and
Hold
then
on.
sell it.
But you don't know. You haven't talked to a CPA yet, right?
Yeah, I need that. He's giving me some numbers.
Well, so that's
I
number.
have his.
But okay, so the person has to email you. There's one. I'll
Got it.
email you a second one.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not just saying it because he's scared.
Right.
So the reason why I'm bringing this up, they'll go with your tax basis conversation, blah 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 blah. Then I'll answer your question secondary.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Because you got to take into consideration depreciation, all these other X factors you don't know yet, and I don't want to talk about it if you don't know it yet. You want to have a secondary question?
No, not right now.
Don't be embarrassed.
Well, there's not one that I can think of right now.
Okay, cool.
I
Okay.
have a ton of questions, but
Yes.
Do you have a standard vinyl tile you put in?
I'm sorry. Do I have a what?
Standard vinyl tile you put in.
A standard
It's for your
vinyl?
rentals.
Yeah. Whatever the vinyl the carpet guy has.
Okay.
I like slate. No, sorry, slate. It's called slate. It's literally slate vinyl.
That's the
Little
color
squares,
or the
big
brand
squares.
or the style.
12 by 12, and it's slate color. I don't like the wood as much. I think the wood's trendy, and in 5 years it'll kind of be like, oh, that was so 2016. Where I think slate is a little more. It's been around for a while, and it's vinyl. Okay, so as I wrap up, slap it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no, anyone know that song?
Girl's gonna do me.
Yeah, they're Belle Biv DeVoe. It's Belle Biv DeVoe. It's a rap song. It's awesome. Don't be embarrassed, dude, because you can't dance any longer. All right, so with that being said, no, I'm
He's
not
talking
talking.
about you, right?
I'm not talking to Leland. No, you know who I'm talking to. So how to work with us more? August 27th, we have an awesome bus tour. It's 6 hours, totally transparent, totally blunt. You can ask any questions. I'm not going to just say talk to him. Probably will on that complex a question because you need more data. But the point is, it's eat, sleep, and drink. Our objective is to look at 4 houses. I'm going to show you in different phases. I'm specifically focusing on what I would do different now than 10 years ago, because 10 years ago I bought 13 houses. So you can learn a lot if you're building your rental portfolio, you're just getting started, or you're somewhere in between, or you're still doing flips, because there's just tons to learn about it. I'm also going over how I would buy differently, knowing what I know now from 10 years ago to maximize more of my cash. So it's a super, super modest investment in yourself. It's way better than a $36,000 bus tour in Oklahoma that I talked to someone last week going to. So, yes.
Are all the properties going to be in Salt Lake County?
Yes. They'll either be all west side or all downtown off the I-15. Yep.
Are they current flips or any?
There'll be both. A flip, a rental, one in between, one not started, so people can see different phases. I'm trying. It's a good problem. I don't have any vacant rentals right now. Like even during the end of August, everyone's renewed. My team's been awesome. So I wanted to see a vacant rental because the 27th is the end of the month, but we only have one that's up for renewal. So I might pick one of my friends and pick on it. You can learn a lot what to do and what not to do based on your friends. So, good? You're good? I'm done. I gotta go do your birthday.
Birthday, yep.
So, thank you for coming. If you guys want to register with that, Dominic or Derek can help you. I gotta be honest, I don't really want to pitch it. I'm just like, to work with me, you'll make more money, or you can try to figure it out on your own. Right, Derek?
Yeah, so if those of you who contacted us through either me or Derek, if you guys do want to go, we still have a few seats left. So, but let us know immediately because a lot of people here, some people have already registered, and it just won't be available, the seats.
It'll happen with you, with or without you. You too. All these music clicks. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Thank you.